So today we're speedrunning through desktop tower defense, and yes, I might have an addiction to these types of games, but we're not going to worry about that right now because we have a speedrun to do. We're going to be doing ours on medium just because, to be honest, it's a really easy and free world record. Now, the nice thing about this speedrun is we're able to set our stuff up without the timer starting, so I have all the time in the world to just set up my paths and make sure they're exactly how I like them. And yeah, we can start the timer as soon as we press start. And pretty much for this game, we're just gonna keep extending our path. We're doing the old strategy of just making a really long maze, and then, yeah, things will just die because there's way too long of a maze and they can't get through it. So I'm just gonna keep extending it. We're gonna be using these pellet towers for the most part, just because they're very cheap and very easy to do. And a nice thing about this tower defense game is you can keep sending in new levels even before the last level is completed. So like right here, we can just start a new one because we're already ready, and yeah, there we go. For this tower defense game, there are 50 total levels, and you can see at the bottom it tells you what the next level is going to be. Like this one is a fast level, the next one will be spawn, then flying, and you can kind of prepare ahead of time for what it's going to be. Now we have spawn, which for these guys, whenever they break, they make more people. They're not really the most difficult people in the world though, and we're just going to keep preparing for these. For the most part, for the entire beginning of this level, I'm just kind of placing these pellet towers. They're the only ones we need to use, so why would I use anything else? The biggest thing that I have to worry about is making sure that I keep sending new levels. We don't want to be stuck on one level if we don't need to, even if it might be a little bit more dangerous. Like right here, we're probably going to be fine. We can send in a new amount of people. If we were going for a score, we might not want to do that, but for our purposes, it doesn't really matter. And now we just have to make sure we block everything off for our pathing. We're making a maze. I mean, it's not the most difficult thing in the world, because when you do this, they have to go around this entire thing, which takes a bit of time. And especially once we start using new towers, that time is going to be very useful for us. Oh, and I just sent 2 waves at the same time. Didn't exactly want to do that, but it'll probably be fine. Yeah, that is the thing that just happened, and not too sure how I feel about that. What I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna be smart about this, and I'm gonna try to do one of these so that they have to go the max amount of pathing. And there we go. We have pretty much our entire maze figured out. Because we have such a big maze, you don't have to worry too much about the specifics, but it is time to start selling some of these guys and changing them for squirt towers. Squirt towers in this game are really good. They do a lot of damage, they kill things really easily, and upgrading them each time, you can see, gives their damage plus 90%. But we're not going to buy too many, because what's more important than getting a lot of squirt towers is having a lot of them that are very upgraded. And the upgrades get really expensive. I think they get up to about 300 gold, which is kind of hard to come by. So we're just going to make sure that we actually have the capital to do that. You can see these bosses are getting through, but they also haven't met our squirt towers yet. So they're getting all this damage even before anything really bad happens to them. That's why I don't worry too much. This also looks like a good time to start preparing to have swarm towers, which these are the guys that only attack air units. But yeah, you can see my general strategy is having squirt towers, having a really big maze, and just upgrading my squirt towers. Unfortunately, for the speedrun, most of these towers don't get too much love. Honestly, they're just kind of not worth the money, which is sad because I would like to use them, but I mean, I'm also not going to ruin my speedrun. Like I said, this is a free world record. I'm going to take the world record. And I think right here we can send out another wave. We're going to upgrade our flying guy, which I probably should have done a little bit earlier, but you can see with this guy, he'll send out 4 bullets at the same time, hit a bunch of different people, and yeah, they're just overpowered for air units. I guess not really overpowered because they only attack air units, so it's not like, yeah, whatever, I'm just not going to worry about it. And you might be wondering, why do we have our squirt towers in the middle? They're not able to affect people at the beginning. Well, the biggest reason for that is when they're in the middle, they can affect the most amount of area possible. If we put them right here, they could only affect things in this area. So while they might attack people earlier, they won't attack people for as long. We don't have to worry about damaging people too early, because once things leave the beginning area, we can just send a new wave, and then, yeah, we don't really have to worry about losing any time to that. And although I think this is a really good strategy for going fast, there are probably going to be a lot of people in the comments like, oh, you could have done this. And yeah, probably, but you know, I'm not that smart, I'm gonna be honest. So I'm just gonna take my free world record, and we'll worry about the specifics later. I already know this world record will get taken from me within a few days, but I'm gonna enjoy it while I have it at least. One more thing we should add right here is another swarm tower, because we don't only want to have one, especially as these units start getting up there. And I think right now we can send a new level, get some more guys. It's pretty much just about always having a lot of people on the map, but you also can't have too many many people because then they're going to overwhelm you. So yeah, it's a balance that you definitely have to strike. So now that we have this general formation, all we're going to do is try to upgrade these towers a little bit more. We want them all to get the final upgrade because then they just obliterate everything. Literally the hardest part about this speedrun for me though is just remembering that I should hit send next level, because I'm like thinking I'm just watching, enjoying the destruction that's happening before my eyes, and then I just forget about everything else. Also, this is probably the perfect time to say no grid because I mean it just looks better. We don't really have to worry about the grid anymore. It just kind of lets you know where you can place your towers and where things can go in and out. But now that we don't really need that, it just looks better like this, at least in my opinion. People might yell at me in the comments for that, but whatever. So we're getting up there and I just accidentally sent 2 waves at the same time. That was not on purpose. See, sometimes you can see this little box, it tells you when the next wave is going. So sometimes I accidentally press the send next level right as it goes to the next level. So it sends 2 waves at the same time, which hurt you a little bit, but we surprisingly only lost 1 life. So I guess it didn't matter in the long run. And oh my, those people these guys are annoying because sometimes they can split and just split through your towers. So that's what they did right there. And I lost a little bit more lives. Honestly, we don't really care if we lose too many lives because we're going to be fine regardless. But it would have been nice if I got a deathless run, you know, it would have been a pretty cool thing. Okay, these normal waves really aren't the most difficult in the world. You can see each time they're getting a little stronger, but I mean, we have our towers to combat them. And like I said, these guys just obliterate. It's like a one-shot thing, maybe 2. I think this is the only one of these guys that isn't upgraded right now. So all we have to do is get that guy and then we can actually focus on more towers. And the boss is next. So I think we should probably send them in right here. These bosses are difficult because they're very fast guys. I mean, they have to go along this entire maze. So I'm not too worried about them. Yeah, even though these guys are fast. When you come into this area, it's just like, what are you even supposed to do at that point? And you know, because I do want to show them off, we might as well buy some of the other towers that we don't have. So this is the dart tower. This guy will basically send out explosives to ground enemies, so he won't affect these flying guys, but he's pretty nice. This one's the frost tower, which will freeze enemies. Also, not the most useful in the world, but I mean, I guess it's kind of worth it. And this one's the bash tower. This one's my favorite out of all the other ones because basically it has a % chance to stun the enemies, which is really useful in some scenarios because I mean, if it just stuns the enemies, then it can save you a lot. I mean, with our general strategy right now, we're not going to really have to worry about that. We're almost done with the run already. I should probably stop playing around with these towers actually and focus on just completing this run, to be honest, but you know, it happens. Also, let me put this new guy in, please. I think at this point, we kind of just send in a bunch of guys and hope that it all works out. Like, we have very destructive people right now, and I think we're gonna be fine regardless of what happens, but I want to be a little bit safe. Oh god, no, and I just let people leak in. Okay, well, it's okay. I mean, that's not gonna hurt us in the long run, but I didn't want that to happen. I'm just gonna send in a bunch of waves at this point. We have a couple of boss waves. The bosses, I don't worry about too much. The thing about the bosses is they only do 1 life to you regardless. It's not like Bloons where different Bloons and stronger Bloons will do more damage. These guys are only gonna do 1 life. So if they do get through, we have 17 lives, whatever. It saves us time to just let them through. I don't really care. Hopefully, I will not regret that decision through sending all these people in, but I think we're gonna be fine as long as we can kill all these people. I'm trying to save time. I'd really like to get the sub 15 minute, but at this point, I'm not exactly sure about it. I think that was a good plan though, because we are losing a couple of lives and these guys are a little bit scary, but as long as everything goes well, we're on the last round right now. Come on guys, I just need you to die. There's not too much more I can upgrade, I think. Actually, maybe I shouldn't have this frost tower though. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sell this frost tower so they can come back in this area quicker. You know what? I'm gonna do that right here too. We're just gonna completely overwhelm ourselves and hope that it works out just for the time. And maybe this was a bad idea. I think we're gonna be fine. We have enough lives to where we should be okay. Yeah, I'm really going for speed right now. I haven't done this before, even in practice, so you know, this might have been a terrible idea. Okay, this is gonna be close. This is gonna be so close. Please die. My god, please, no. No. I'm such an idiot. Well, that happened. Okay, so I redid the run, you can see, and we did it a lot faster. Basically what I was doing is I was setting the next level much earlier. I was sometimes like tripling up on levels, like here, you know what, I'm just gonna send these guys too. I'm gonna do 2 bosses at the same time, and I might send the normals in just a second. So we were really like tripling up on everything we were doing. It seemingly worked out pretty well for us. This entire run and my entire world record, I mean, assuming that this one's actually going to end up being world record, that will be on the second channel, so yeah, just go check over there. But yeah, I mean, this is a much better time than I thought we were gonna have. Literally all I had to do was press send next wave a lot sooner than you wanted to, because you don't normally want to, because you want to make sure you survive through all this, but you have a lot of leeway, surprisingly. So yeah, I mean, there's not much more I can do at this point. I'm kind of just letting all these guys die. I'm not gonna make the same mistake and delete one of these things and just lose my run. Actually, that might be a I kind of want to delete this to let some people go over there, but that might hurt me more than it helps me. So I'm just gonna let this level end out by itself. I'm actually kind of happy we lost the first time because I got all these better strats, and yeah, this happened now, so I'm going to call time right there.
Well, right then, we better do some work, I suppose. And
yeah, then we get like that Irish guy talking about doing work because, you know, it's desktop tower defense. If you didn't notice, this is a desktop. You got the computer. You know, yeah, but 12:24:94, that's a pretty good time. And if we look on speedrun.com, we'll see, yeah, I have world record for normal mode now. I beat out one guy who did this 3 years ago. I guess I can be proud of that, right? But anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it. It really helps me with the YouTube algorithm, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, subscribe to the channel. I do plenty of old Flash game speedruns and speedruns in general, so if you're interested in that type of stuff, then yeah, just subscribe and check out my other stuff. But enough shilling. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time.